former CEA, Dr. KV Subramanian, who's going to be with us. Dr. KV Subramanian, thank you so much for speaking to us here at Times Now. Just taking off from the last comment that was made in the previous debate, one of the panelists who perhaps leans towards the opposition, if I can put it that way, says that the clear benefit of this decision, what benefit will accrue, is not very properly explained. There is, of course, the clean note policy and the fact that, people can deposit the notes, so on and so forth. The fact that this number of notes in circulation has been steadily going down, many are saying would have meant that eventually it could have been gradually phased out. What's the immediate benefit of such a move in your view, Dr. Subramanian?
So when you look at the benefits, and I think one of your panelists mentioned this, I have, in your channel earlier also, I gave this data that the 2,000 rupee note that is in circulation has decreased from 6.7 lakh crore to 3.6 lakh crore. That is essentially 3.1 lakh crores. That's a large amount of money. And, we're not talking about your fake currency. We're talking about absolutely, a legal currency that is possibly getting hoarded to the tune of, 3.1 lakh crore. Now, why is this likely to be hoarded? Because as you were saying, the 2,000 rupee note is not being dispensed with as much from ATMs, number one. Mm-hmm. Number two, if you look at a currency note as a medium of exchange, the 2,000 rupee note is not being used as a medium of exchange, for two reasons. One, the digital transactions in the economy have, gone up significantly. I mean, in magnitude, right, orders of magnitude. And digital transactions are actually expected to multiply 3-4 in just the next 3 years as well. So the use of the 2,000 rupee note for day-to-day transactions has declined significantly. And this is an RBI move, I think, that this is a technical aspect that must be kept in mind, not a move by the government of India, unlike in the previous instance, which is based on the demand for particular denominations, because the demand for the 2,000 rupee denomination, which was about 40% of cash in circulation in March 2018, has come down to 10% now. So clearly the demand for that has gone down. It is possibly getting used only for hoarding of money, which is something anyway every economy wants to clamp down on. It's a sound move.
So I just want to clarify one point, Mr. Subramanian. For those of us who are lay people, when we read this particular statistic that you referred to, where they say, RBI says that the banknotes in circulation has declined from 6.73 lakh crores at its peak on March 31st to, which is about 37.3% of the notes in circulation, to 3.62 lakh crores, constituting only 10.8% of notes in circulation as of March 31st, 2023. So over these 5 years, you're saying that these notes have been hoarded. Is it possible that it's because the notes have not been in circulation, that they are with banks? What percentage of that could possibly be with banks? Or are these actually the total amount of notes that people have with them? Can you just explain that for our viewers?
So my sense is, and I don't have the exact proportion, but, I can, expect that a large proportion of these notes are not with banks. These are with individuals and maybe institutions that are, hoarding the money, 3.1 lakh crore. So, let's understand, for the purpose of all our viewers, what is, money in circulation. For instance, if I actually have a 2,000 rupee note that I go and just put it in let's say put it as a bookmark in a book that I'm reading, let's say, right, just as a thought experiment. That 2,000 rupee note is not in circulation. It is actually not. I didn't give it to you. You don't give it to somebody else. So the amount in circulation has gone down by 3.1 lakh crore. It is very likely being hoarded by individuals because it is not, the 2,000 rupee note is not being used for transaction purposes.
Right. Also, a very important question that many have on their mind is that does the honest taxpayer need to fear anything? This time around, the deposit has not been stopped. There's no deposit limit, if I can understand, subject to whatever regulatory, issues are there. So if somebody has, for instance, a senior citizen has, for instance, 8 or 10 lakh rupees, which they may need, for emergency healthcare purposes, in case they are hospitalized, for instance, can they just go and deposit that straight away? Will there be any kind of tax complications for them if they do that?
No, but let me point out that, and when we look at all of us, commonly, right, when we have money in our bank accounts, or we use basically credit cards, most of us do not store that kind of, that much amount of, cash. A few lakh crores, forget, lakhs. I don't think many of us even store, tens of thousands in notes, because the use of digital money, use of credit cards, etc., is very large. So, what we're talking about itself is a very hypothetical scenario where somebody basically for a rainy day storing 10 lakh crore. Okay. I think that is something that is actually a scenario that is being painted just for, it's a straw man that is being erected by people who actually vested interest, who possibly are, ones that benefit from storing of this or hoarding of this cash. I am absolutely clear that the benefits here are, for removing such hoards of cash. It does not affect the common person, because 2,000 rupee notes are not a medium of exchange, at all for the common person.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. KV Subramanian, for joining us and explaining to us and putting it in your perspective as to what really citizens can expect and what all of these numbers really mean. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. And before I introduce my